Geralt of Rivia is the focal character of the world created by Andrzej Sapkowski and will be the main protagonist of the upcoming Netflix show, The Witcher. But who actually is Geralt of Rivia? Where did he come from? What are his motives? And how does it happen he always ends up in the middle of the storm? Also, I would like to answer the question of what can we expect from Geralt in the Netflix Witcher series. Hello, my name is Danny, and this is a brief story of the White Wolf. Geralt of Rivia is one of the Witchers. They are mutants created for a specific job, killing monsters and protecting people. Young boys who are meant to become one undergone series of training and trials. First one was called the Choice, which involved changing diet, habits, and starting radical training. Next, the boy would be given various alchemical ingredients that affect nervous system and slowly dehumanize. It is called Trial of the Grasses. The third, Trial of the Dreams, involved physical mutation like eyes, higher stamina, faster reflex, and increased strength. The last one, Trial of the Mountain, was sort of an exam if a trained boy can finally become a Witcher. Statistically, only 1 out of 10 boys survived. Geralt is one of them. Due to his resilience during the standard trial, he was subjected to additional experimental ones. The result of those is his characteristic white hair. But why exactly Geralt is so special? Just because he's the main character of the story? Definitely yes, but there is one more thing. He was son of a sorceress. Her name was Visenna, and if the short story Something More will be a part of a Netflix show, we should actually see their reunion. One of the main arcs of the whole series, if they stay true to the books of course, should be Yennefer's will to be a mother. This topic I leave for a separate episode, but one thing to notice for this moment is that sorceress, just like witchers, are infertile. So the question is how actually Visenna got pregnant. This is because long-term magic learning process and using it slowly makes sorcerers infertile over time. Most of them are already incapable of bearing a child after leaving magic school. However, in case of Geralt's mother, as Nenneke once said in their conversation, Visenna must also have been very surprised by the fact of being pregnant, and that exceptions generally confirm the rule. Having all the backstory behind us, we can finally talk about the White Wolf himself. Geralt of Rivia is a monster hunter. He was left as a child in the Kaer Morhen, school of the Wolf Innkeep located deep in the Blue Mountains. He was raised and trained by his mentor, Vesemir. He claims to be Rivian for the business purposes and even learned the Rivian accent, but he is not originally from Rivia. Once, he admitted to his dear friend Regis, in one of their many conversations, he initially insisted on the name Geralt Roger Eric Duhot Belgrad. Fortunately, Vesemir convinced him this is not proper name for a Witcher. Geralt is somewhere between 80 and 100 years old, which is only possible by the mutations connected with the trials. The aging is very slow in the case of the Witchers. He has white hair, yellow cat-like eyes that allow him to see in the darkness without much difference comparing to the sunlight. His most loyal companion on his path is Roach. It's a name of Geralt's horse. Actually, it's name of all Geralt's horses. He had a habit of naming all of them Roach. As most Witchers, he has 2 swords. He holds one of them strapped to his back, and the other one is carried on a horse. This makes most sense, as fighting with one extra unused sword on his back will be very inconvenient during combat. One of the swords is steel, and other one is silver. Some say one is for monsters and other one is for people. However, as Geralt once said, both of them are for monsters. Geralt as a person is very cynical, never talks too much, and has a very cold nature. This is on the outside. In the closer relationship, he is a loyal friend and a man of good humor. There are many people around the northern kingdoms that are especially dear to him. Jaskier, his best friend and companion for many adventures, Zoltan Chivay, Yarp and Zigrin and their crews, sorceress Triss Merigold, brothers from Kaer Morhen, and the most notably his dear friend and lover, Yennefer of Vengerberg. Later in the story, he meets his one and true destiny, Princess of Sintra and daughter of Pavetta and Duni, Cyrilla Fiona Ellen Rhiannon, better known as Ciri. This should be main arc for the whole Netflix series, as it is of the books. Their relationship is one of its kind, and it's the main driving force of the whole story. I will come back to it in the future, as for its importance, it deserves a separate video. Geralt acquired his worldwide recognition in the Northern Kingdoms, working for monarchs and important figures all around the continent. His encounters with King Foltest, Queen Calanthe, Queen Meath and Dijkstra will surely be a huge part of the show by Netflix, so there's no point in just spoiling them in 20 seconds each. I will come back to discussing how they were presented in the show after release, and we can compare the main differences and maybe clear something that was not so straightforward. I think this brings your character of Geralt a bit closer. If you're a fan, probably most of the facts were already known to you, but I hope you heard some info for the very first time. Now, I would like to quickly discuss what would make great Geralt in the show. First of all, I think they should focus on Geralt being grim. Dark humor is a very important part of the character. Making him a happy little witcher simply won't work. Second thing is that Geralt is a badass, and I expect few of such moments to actually happen in the show. On the other side, I think what makes books and games special and so likable are the relationships he has with certain characters. I would like to see him as a loving husband, father, and a friend. I think the key is to show he's not just a killing machine. After all, most of his adventures happen because of trying to protect his close ones. Next important thing is the combat. It needs to be fast, visually impressive, and should be more like dancing rather than the type of a heavy sword fight. I wonder how much of signs will be used and how will they look like. Signs in the books were not used so frequently as they were too exhausting for him and took too much time for him to focus. However, in the series, I think they can omit this fact and make it much more common. Last but not least is how Geralt is going to look like. From what we already saw from Netflix, my hopes are high. He is dirty, he has a lot of scars, and the hair look natural. And I'm sure they're gonna smash it. On the acting side, I am not so sure. Since the announcement, I was not convinced to Henry, but I fully trust him. As far as I know, he read all of the books and played all of the games before he was cast, so he was definitely a fan. He must exactly know how Geralt acts. I think if they finally went for Henry Cavill, even when some people say he's too stiff for the role, they know what they are doing. I hope his knowledge and professionalism will create a wonderful character that will be remembered for years to come. What is more, I hope it will actually be a change on how Cavill acts and open a completely new part in his acting career. We will actually see in the coming months. My next few videos will be covering other main characters, Yennefer, Ciri and Jaskier. Also, if I have enough time, I would like to wrap up all the new information about the show that were published during the Comic-Con in San Diego. If you like the channel and you would like to help me grow, please like and subscribe for more videos. I hope you enjoyed the video. Farewell and good luck on the path.